has everything to do with what? It's not how I wanted to start this. I don't know, I'm having a big self-identity issue now. Actually, it's been my whole entire existence because it's be yourself, but no, 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 ew, what the fuck are you doing? That's you? Maybe you shouldn't be yourself. Then who else should I be? Any other person's taken for aside from me. Throughout life and existence, I've just being whoever I needed to be for those that wanted to be around me. I'm afraid to lose you. I was so afraid to lose you, I lost my own self-identity. I don't know who the fuck I am when I'm alone. I can write about things, I can experience things, I can tell you about things, but when you ask me about me, from what I know about myself, I seem to want the more dangerous, the more aggressive, the more, no, you shouldn't want that. Who are you to tell me what I want in my future? Who are you to tell me what my perfect is? Who are you to tell me what to love, how to love, and how to accept it? Regardless if you're a behavioral illness, regardless if you're a doctor, regardless if you're a nurse, regardless of your specialty, you should realize to each their own, and your perfect and my perfect are rarely ever the same. No one lives, no one truly lives the same existence, even if you are in the same areas, brought up in the same homes, given the same parents. There's no two same existences, even if you try to make them one. Because the funny thing about the brains that we all have is we all may have a brain. But to say that every single brain has the same exact operating system is stupid. Like to assume that every car is an automatic, every car is a manual, to assume every shower's left handle's hot, every shower's right handle's cold, to assume that every man has a penis and every woman has a vagina. And I know some people might be like, oh no, gender this, gender that. The more that you learn, the more that you realize they don't even teach us the basics when it comes to a lot of things. I'm somebody that has always searched for information, and that's because these feelings that I get, I question if they're mine, or I question if they're here to tell me the truth in time. I question why I feel the things that I do, and I just know that there's more than what you're telling me. So please over-explain, because as soon as you under-explain, my brain goes off like, nah. Why? And it can't be because I said so. Why? And it can't be because I'm your boss. Why? And it can't be because I told you so. Why? I need a logical reason for this, or I'm not doing shit. Like, yeah, 100%. Like, even I don't need a logic for myself, but like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm using my own time and energy, I don't need a why. But if somebody's gonna tell me to do something that you could have done personally yourself, but you're delegating it to me, I need to know why. Because if it's something that gets me in trouble, why? If it's something that's gonna get me yelled at, why? If it's something that I have to explain to somebody else because I'm not the one that originated the idea, I need to know why I'm doing it. But most people are just like, no, shut the fuck up and stop being so difficult. Why? Do you expect me to listen to you so fucking blindly? I'm confused about a lot of things. Like, why did you expect me to be like everybody else? There's no blueprints to human design, but you expect there to be. Why? I'm just myself, trying not to be a problem. But sometimes being yourself is a problem when we have a perfect outline you should follow. Why be anybody else? For the purpose of fitting into society and not being murdered too early. They murdered my identity, so I have to figure out where they put the body. Why? Can I ever be myself without feeling like they say, and I get it, but not really. I really don't. Like, I get it, but no. I have to be told I'm kidding, because literally everything's a joke or it's all serious to me, because I don't get it. I get it, but I don't really. I know that if I don't fit in your group because I don't want to wear your uniform, or I don't want to do your dances, I don't want to screw your women, or I don't want to screw your dudes, or I don't want to do what you told me to, now I'm the problem because everybody else did it. What's wrong with you? For the reasoning that I don't want to conform, now that there's an issue, instead of the fact that everybody but me conformed. Isn't it weird that everybody but me, with no questions, everybody but me decided to, everybody but me just blindly does things as they're told? So why am I the problem? Because I ask questions and I'm trying to clarify things because everybody but me is so simple. I thought I was simple because I wanted the clarifications just in case other people were asking, but because nobody asked aside from me, now I'm a problem? Why? It's just my biggest issue in existence is I am told humans are the most logical creatures on this planet. But why do we cause each other so much pain, hate, chaos, disloyalty, dishonesty, all this and all that? Like, I'm disgusted by most of my past because I realized I was doing the true definition of fucking around and finding out. And a lot of that, I didn't learn as much as I thought I would, because a lot of my learning is through movies, TV shows, books, video games, and the books came later on in life, as well as personal experiences. When it came from personal experiences, I learned that there's always a leader in the group, regardless if you're aware of it or not, and there's a follower or followers. And the type of person I am is, because I don't know how to lead, but I'm also not gonna boss. Like, I don't give a fuck if you want to do what you're gonna do, but I have like certain rules. Just don't be too aggressive. Don't be fighting. Honestly, agree to fight. Like, don't make it rape. And what I mean by that is, if the person isn't consenting to what you want them to do, then it's fucking rape. 100%. That is how I see rape. And it wasn't until later on in time that I came to understand that concept of it, because I'm just like, oh, you told me no. Well, who cares? Who cares if you don't want to go for a walk with me? Let's go for a walk. 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 Come on, just get up and let's go. Who cares if you don't want to listen to me? I'm going to keep talking any fucking ways. You didn't punch me in the mouth yet, so I don't give a fuck. Who cares? I'm being an asshole, aren't I? I had to really stop and think, like, if people did this to me, how do I feel about it? Some things I don't really care, and other things I'm like, I would absolutely want to murder somebody. And it was learning to be empathetic as well as sympathetic, and I realized some things can be taught to some people, whereas it doesn't matter how many times somebody fails that class, they may never, ever pass. So I'm very thankful for the fact that I have the ability to learn things, and which is why I say the worst version of me was little kid me. Because little kid me, like I said, I truly did the fuck around and find out method. I learned a lot of things throughout that method, as well as I just learned a lot of things just from experiencing, talking to people, watching things, reading things. And through that, I've come to learn some people will never tell you when they're in pain, and some people will always say that they're in pain but never feel pain. And some people, they'll only tell you when they're in excruciating pain. And with learning that there's so many fucking varyings in things, it's simply unsimple. Or maybe it's because of the way that my brain works. People say I overthink, and I'm just like, this is how I generally think. I can't overthink if that's how I just think. And I had to find that on freaking Facebook, because it's like, it literally said overthinkers aren't overthinkers if that's how they generally think. It's like, oh, you're right. You're fucking right. And my mind is everywhere and anywhere at the same time. It's nowhere. So it's like, it's hard for me to ever be physically and mentally present places, because like, yeah, I'm physically here. That's as much as you're getting from me. And 9 times out of 10, I have to force myself to be mentally present somewhere, because most of the times I'm just not autopilot. And I know, just be polite and just don't blah this and don't blah blah that, and as long as you don't, you're good. And it's pretty simply unsimple, but some people just want to make things even more difficult than it has to be, which is why I need to know the whys of the things that I'm doing, because people have questions that I didn't think to ask, but sometimes I think to ask because, well, I've had these questions thrown at me before, and I need to give answers, because I'm not the originator of this thought process, so therefore I can't give you guys answers. But if I'm the originator of the thought process, the whys aren't always going to be, like, the reasonings to whys are not always going to be the most logical reasoning, because what I've come to learn about myself is I don't need to explain myself to you, especially if I'm not involving you in the fucking situation whatsoever. Like, you are not in my equation. The fact that you are being a viewer of my process is like, shit. I wasn't looking for an audience. But if you're an audience member that can understand what's going on in my brain when I explain it, then fine, I will explain it to you. But if I realize you're an audience member that's just going to continue breaking things apart and just trying to say, oh, no, you're stupid. Oh, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Oh, you're fine. You can invalidate the things I'm doing, but at the same time, I didn't ask for your validation. So just leave me the fuck alone. In the most politest and shortest way I can do it. And sometimes the nicest thing I can do is shut the fuck up and not even respond to you. Like, yeah, I heard you, but for the fact that I was also taught up, there's a lot of things I was taught that I don't either necessarily stick to or sometimes I do, but I was taught, if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. I don't know the difference between being nice and rude, so a lot of people are just like nice or rude or like Ethan being, and I'm just like, I don't know. The truth is the fucking truth. Sometimes it stings and sometimes it's refreshing. Either fucking way. You're gonna get it from me. Raw. Unlike the way I fuck, depending. Because yeah, I will admit, I do use a condom and pull out, but there's some women that's like, I've been fucking you for so long. I'm kidding. No, I've just all depends. Cause like, I would say fucking you for so long, but there was this one chick that I just fucked raw, just off of vibes, and just I don't do raw often, believe it or not. For as crazy and as chaotic as I am, I have, to my current knowledge, because I will admit I do stick my dick in crazy, I do not have any kids. But if I did, I'd be a fucking father. I would be a present father. I'd care for the child, to supply food, love, attention, whatever I could. But with the factor of fucking crazy is, she might not tell me, so of course I'm a deadbeat, because I didn't fucking know I was a father. How the fuck are you going to say I'm guilty of a crime that I didn't even know I was committing the whole entire time? Lack of information, ladies and gentlemen. I'm informed on a lot of things, about a lot of things, but for the fact that I can't teach you if you don't want to learn, then whose fault is it? I could tell you what's right with me and what's wrong with me, but if you're not educated on what these things are, then all I told you was a bunch of hocus pocus, made up, funny, fancy words that you find in dictionaries and thesauruses. It's not my fault you decided to study your own information growth. Like, you might be studied in your height, but you could never be studied in your education unless you choose to be studied in your education. For the fact that I had a lot of questions that nobody wanted to answer, I figured, well, there's answers somewhere around this world. Now, where the fuck am I going to find them? And the hardest part is trying to figure out if the answers are backed by money or if they're backed by actual truth. And what is the truth? I don't really know. I still struggle to figure out what that really means when it's like, tell me the truth. I am alive. Well, it couldn't work like this. But from a third person, let's say somebody was sitting next to me and said, Ethan's alive. That is the truth speaking at this current moment. But let's say I was to die tomorrow and that person says Ethan's alive. Now he has committed a lie. So the truth can become a lie, and a lie can possibly become the truth. And that's what bothers me. Everything in life is so flexible to change. It is what it is until it isn't. And I'm aware of that. And I overthink that to such extremes, it causes me to have current issues in making decisions, because what if I make the wrong decision? Not making a decision is worse than making the wrong decision, because life adapts to your choices regardless of them. So not making a choice just means, regardless of the situation that you're trying to avoid, the fact that you didn't choose to make any other choice, you're going to stay in that position because you didn't choose anything new. You're dealing with all the old. But I've always just been like, the environment that I grew up in was a very heavily fear-based environment where it's just like, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough this, we don't have enough that. And that's what keeps playing back in my fucking head. Like, I don't have enough, I am not enough, I can't be enough, I'll never have enough. And that's not that, because I'm blessed in so many different ways, with the ways that I get people to inform me on things I'm unsure of, the ways that I have people that are able to help me financially of things I can't afford, the way I always have job opportunities, the way that I always have people that empty my lustful imagination, the way that people inspire me in poetry, or the way that I have so many things, but the fucking thoughts in my brain just want to push forward the negative and push back the positive. Like, no. And it's just, I want to focus so much more on other people, because I was taught that if I focus too much on myself, that's narcissism. So I need to be caring, compassionate about others, but others don't. Just because I care and I'm compassionate towards others doesn't mean they're going to be caring, compassionate towards me. So really the only person I could be caring, compassionate towards is myself, because to be caring and compassionate towards myself is to be able to identify when others are being caring, compassionate towards me. Because if I know how I love myself and I enjoy how I love myself, then once somebody else tries to present their actions towards me as love, not like, whoa. This may be how you do love, but this isn't how I accept love. So if you're willing to learn how I accept love and do love the way that I accept love, maybe we can be together. But if you are unwilling to accept my love and say that I am difficult, I am stubborn, I am this, I am that, you could be right in your world, but I'm not willing to compromise the things that I have learned for myself, done for myself, to please you, because you can always leave. I am always going to be me. But that's not what I do. I do whatever it takes to keep you. So please, don't leave like everybody else did. And that's my problem. I have abandonment issues, but I try not to be toxic about it. I'm clingy because of course you're going to leave. You technically speaking have to. You got to use the restroom. You got to go to work. You got to do things around town. You got to be able to leave, but it's coming back. It's coming back untouched from others. Like I could still smell them on you. I thought I was exclusive. You were exclusive. I thought we were something, but I do have delusional thoughts a lot. I record so much, which annoys some people, because you're crazy, Ethan. You're right, but I have a recording. And the recording has my voice and your voice. And I played it back, and it seems like what I thought you said was exactly what you said, so I might be crazy. But I also have it on record. You want to play it back? I will take accountability for me being crazy and overreacting if you take accountability for the fact that you refuse to take accountability for things. Some people will and some people won't, and that's my problem. I don't always know if I'm being around those that are rooted in reality or those that are 100% rooted in fantasy. For the fact that I float between, I have an issue figuring out, is this you, is this me, or is this both of us miscommunicating? The problem is I love others more than I love myself because I don't know who I am. And I do have an idea of who I am, but for the fact that that idea isn't accepted, I just say no. My aggression comes from pain of being misunderstood, not wanting to be heard, as well as my aggression just comes from the fact that I'm just naturally aggressive. Well, not necessarily naturally aggressive. Like when I was younger, I used to stomp, slam doors, be too loud, move too fast. The speed's still there. It's a lot of symptoms and signs of ADHD as well as maybe some autism. And the problem of that is I grew up in an establishment with a lot of other mentally and or physically disabled siblings. So for me to have a disability on top of the heart issues would just be nothing more, because like in a house full of mentally disabled and or physically disabled people, I am just a normal person to be mentally and or physically disabled, but to leave that environment and to be in an environment with Lord knows what the fuck is going around in this world. You don't know the person next to you, you don't know what they're necessarily going through. You don't know if they have mental issues, you don't know if they have physical issues, because not every disability is seen, but the way that the world wants to paint the picture for some reason is you should be able to see a mental and or physical disability, and if you cannot see it, then it's not real, it does not exist, and people are making things up. When I've come to learn, I've known, not necessarily come to learn, I've known since the fucking start that disabilities aren't something that you can always see. But you can't tell everybody that. You can't inform everybody. You can't teach everybody. Everybody is a blanket term that does encompass everybody. But in certain cases, when you say everybody's mean, everybody's rude, everybody's sexy, everybody, it doesn't always encompass everybody because everybody is different. Now that does. And it's being conscious of what you're saying. And I will admit, sometimes I'm not aware of what I'm saying. Most of the times I try to be, but for as fast as I think, for as fast as I speak, I am sorry. And what does sorry mean if you continue doing what the fuck you said that you were sorry for? Not a damn thing. And why are you apologizing if you cause no No issue. I used to have another problem with that, just apologizing. Like, what are you sorry for? I don't know. I guess I'm sorry that you had to go through. I guess I'm sorry that you feel this way. I guess I'm sorry just because you didn't hear it from the person that affected you, so maybe hearing I'm sorry means something, but to hear it from the person that hurts you is what you want to hear it from. So to hear it from me just sounds weird and annoying. Like, what are you apologizing for if you did nothing wrong? Very valid point. Very valid point, but I always feel like I always did something wrong, because the way that I was brought up, I am either the problem or the solution. At least that's how I put myself into it. Like, maybe how others have said I am intense, I am deep, I am depressing, as well as I am uplifting, I am the life of a party. Like, I full-heartedly believe I have imposter syndrome, as well as borderline personality disorder, as well as ADHD, as well as autism, as well as a couple other things. But the only thing that lands on my medical records is that I am a congestive heart patient with pulmonary hypertension. The doctors never checked my head. And aside from posting on my social medias, I don't really want them to. They've already taken so much away from me. What else do you want to take away from me? I don't have a biological family. I don't really have a good understanding of social interactions. I don't really have a well thought out self-identity. I don't really get what most of this shit is, and I really do, but I don't. And I say it like that because what I realize is sociopaths are people that are made by their environment, and psychopaths are born that way. I have some sociopathic tendencies, but for the fact that I'm so logical and aware of a lot of things I'm doing, I try not to be sociopathic and try not to be manipulative in the way that I try to grow. I try to be as authentic as I can be, but I give too much of myself, is what I've been told in certain places, as well as doing the professionalism and all this and all that. And I just realized professionalism means nothing aside from just wear a fucking suit, don't swear, and basically kiss ass, but not so much like your whole entire fucking lips and your face and your whole entire body turns brown because you're so far up somebody else's ass, just to make sure you get that dollar that doesn't fucking matter, because currency is all determined by humans anyways. It's only valuable because somebody else said so. Because I never said any of this shit's valuable. What's valuable to me doesn't always seem to be valuable to other people, so it's just like, whatever. I don't know where the fuck I was going with this rant. It's my disgust for existence, and for the fact that humans, which I guess we all are, not all of us clearly, but humans are the smartest and most logical creatures, yet we do some of the most ridiculous things. Most ridiculous. And life and existence could always be better for others, but what I've come to learn as well is you can give them everything that they ask for, and they will still be upset, just to be upset. But what I figure is there needs to be a better version of segregation, where it's the criminals, the true criminals, not the criminal. Because there's people that are in jail that didn't even commit the crime, but, well, we needed somebody to go there. I'm just like, wait a second. That's a thing that could happen in life? Wow. You could be wrongly accused, and everybody knows that you're wrongly accused, and they'll still keep you locked up? Find me a gun or a noose. I don't know. There's a reason why I don't own a gun. It's not because... No, it's 100% because of me. 100% of me. 100% of me. I do believe if I ever owned a gun, one of these nights of me just feeling self-deprecating and really suicidal, I would literally be making out with a fucking barrel. But I believe I'm the most dangerous thing that I have to worry about. Even when I'm walking the streets, I don't fucking fear that people are going to hurt me. I fear that I'll have the opportunity to show people how scary I can be. So I don't really avoid people because I'm scared of them. I avoid them because I'm scared of what they will make me do. Because I was nice, sometimes a little too nice, and now my back's against the wall, and I was like, please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please leave. Oh, it's cold. I said, leave. But since you won't, I guess I'll have to do what I need to do. And your body may never move the same after I am through. And I don't give a fuck if I leave with cuts and bruises. Have you seen me with the lights on? I have cuts and bruises from head to toe. I give fucks because I was taught to, not because I generally do. But you don't gotta believe me. I don't know what to feel and how to feel, but I do know violence is the answer sometimes. Even though I was taught violence is never the answer. Okay. Violence is never the answer. I know how to regurgitate shit. They told me to say it. Tell me I believe it. I was taught to say things I don't believe. A lot of them, honestly. You have to fake it until you make it. And I faked it enough to make it as an adult. And now as an adult, I tell you guys what I think, regardless if you like it or not. Who asked you? Nobody did. And that's why we have these issues as an adult, because nobody asked me as a kid. And then when they did ask me as a kid, it's like, oh, you're making it up. So, as an adult, I'm using my freedom of speech because now I'm actually strong enough to fight back. Verbally as well as physically, because for some reason adults thought it was nice to put their hands on kids, because, well, who the fuck told you to talk back? I thought that's how conversations worked. I thought, who told you could think for yourself? That's what you fucking taught me. Taught me. There's a lot of things I do know, and there's a lot of things I don't know. But what does it help? Who does it help? And how does it help? I guess it's just what I do with that information. And I refuse, like somewhere in my head, it could be an ego issue, I refuse to hurt those that I deem to be weaker than me. And the problem is, I deem most of society to be weaker than me. I think you guys are the disabled ones. I'm not lying. Not everyone, but just most of you, I believe, are more disabled than I believe the disability that I have. Or disabilities I have. That's probably just 100% the way that I think is why I'm easily able to get taken advantage of, because I don't see it as being taken advantage of. Because most of the times in my world, it's I'm fucking bored, I need something to do. And something to do could literally be driving somebody around, something to do could literally be going shopping with somebody, something to do could literally be helping somebody, quote unquote helping. I don't know if I'm helping them, if I'm enabling their laziness, but helping somebody clean their house or do some work that they need to get done. Like, they think they're getting something over on me, but in reality, I was bored and I need entertainment, and entertainment looks like anything and everything. Yes, I would literally sit in a fucking room and watch paint dry. Don't fucking test me, because you'll find out I passed. Now, whose test did I pass, though? Because you might think, no, you failed my test. No, I passed my test. Yeah, that's all that matters. I got past my test, not yours. My test was don't murder anybody, don't go to jail, and stay employed. And I always pass. Nobody's dead because of me. I've never been in jail. I've always had a job. Even when I didn't have a job, I always had a job. Well, actually, whenever I started working, I don't think I actually have it, because I will admit there's times I had times where I didn't want to work anymore. I burned myself out from fucking working too much and all this and all that, which I'm burned out from existence at all. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck I am, what I enjoy, what I can enjoy, what communities I can enjoy, things I enjoy, because it's not what you do, it's where you do it a lot of the times, which is why I need to be filthy stinking rich, because celebrities are weird. But you would know that because they have a freaking mansion, so much fucking room and property to be able to do all their weirdness and all the fucked up shit, but they learn how to manage their madness while I am just struggling to learn what mad I am. Or maybe they just had talent managers that did this and that. Like, it does make sense on why a lot of celebrities were able to sell their booty hole for that stuff, because lack of boundaries, because the way that their minds work and stuff like that. And while you're telling me, so all I gotta do is let them insert their thingy into my thingy and I can make a bunch of money and have a bunch of freedom, shut me up. I know what it takes. I'm just not willing to do this shit. I know what it takes for a lot of things I'm willing to do, to be honest. What are you willing to do? And don't say anything when you don't mean it. I'm not willing to do anything, but I am willing to do a lot of things. A lot of things. Because there's many ways to this exact same point that other people are trying to get to. But for the fact that you are misinformed on the other ways too, you believe that there was only one way. And I have learned there's many ways to do one thing, and you can do one thing in many ways. I do one thing in many ways. Well, some people get stuck in doing that one thing